What's up, everybody? This is D Rock right here, and we are at Podcast at Live. What you're going to find in this podcast is a mixture of current topics, general and host topics. We'll be discussing our opinion about each topic, and if at any time you'd like to add comments, I will read off your comments, chats. Only appropriate ones will be allowed in the comments. So, what's up? Ready to pop off? D Rock here. Got my mans.
What's up? It's Hydro, aka Haji. Me Village Circle Road 1700 block all day, every day.
All right, we're going to get started with this podcast here. We're going to fire off on movie lists. And what happens here is we compiled our own list on our own separate occasions. And excuse me, I lost my first list, so I had to rush through this current one that I have right here. But I think it's okay. I'm okay to roll with it. Which one would you like to pop off with first?
All right, so basically, what we have here is some basic categories of movies. This is going to be a two-part podcast. This is part one. So,
Okay.
part one is going to go over the top five mafia, action, horror, and superhero movies. So, we'll
Also known
start,
as
yeah, also
comic
comic book
genre.
movies.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it these days.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to jump right into the top five mafia movies of all time. So what we'll do is I'll go over my list, and then D Rock will go over his, and then we'll kind of dissect them.
Disclaimer for my list: I didn't put mine in a ranking order. I
Okay.
just put the ones that I felt were worthy in my list. Like I said, it was a shrunk list. I didn't have a lot of time, but I think it's okay.
Okay. So my top five, I have. This is just in my own opinion. I have Goodfellas as the number one mafia movie of all time for me. It's the one that I've watched the most, more than any other ones. At number two, I have Once Upon a Time in America.
Mm-hmm.
At number three, I have a hidden jewel. If you, Many people probably haven't seen it, but it's called Hit the Dutchman about Dutch
Mm-hmm.
Schultz.
For sure. For
At
sure.
number four, I have American Gangster, and at number five, I have Miller's Crossing.
Okay. Um, what I got is that's funny that you put Goodfellas because I told you mine wasn't in no particular order, and the Goodfellas was the first one on my list, and I'm just gonna fire off my list.
All
I
right.
got Goodfellas, Donnie Brasco,
Mm,
Casino,
hmm.
Hit the Dutchman, and Carlito's Way.
Oh, okay. Not bad. Not a bad list. Not a bad list. Not a bad
Now,
list.
now before we start our dissecting, okay, I just wanted to ask you a few questions that I had jotted down real quick. So, what makes your definition of a mafia? Because a mafia just can't be created overnight. What's your definition?
My definition is, I guess, more so of an organized crime family where you have one figurehead out front that leads the charge of basically of the mafia, but they're not seen very often. They're not heard from very often, and they have dozens upon dozens of foot soldiers that kind of do the day-to-day workings of the crime organization.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically how I feel.
Um. So I th- um I asked you this question the other day when we were discussing a few things. And what's the difference in your opinion? I'm sorry, I'm not trying to hold up your dissection, but I just wanted to ask you this question.
Oh no, go ahead.
What's the difference between a mob and an empire, right?
Yeah. Okay. So what I say
And
the
I got
difference is
one more. I'm sorry.
the mob would be an organized crime family that basically has you have your Don, you have your captains, then you have your your hitman, your muscle, your street team, and then you just have your factions amongst your street leaders that just run around and do shit for them.
Mhm.
Empire, on the other hand, can consist of however many people running a drug empire where there's not one Don or one figurehead. There's just, people working together in unison to move the product, sell drugs, and reap the benefits of it.
Okay, and I just got one more for you.
All right.
So, what's the difference between a cartel and a mob?
Mm, that's a good one. I would
Because
say,
they're both very organized. They both move in the same kind of fashion, very in the dark. Best buddies is the kind of thing where they'll get you set up and stuff like that.
the difference for me is basically the brutality of it because the cartel are kind of
Okay, yeah, I
loud
can
and
agree with that.
bashful. Like if someone crosses them, they kind of like publicly execute them. Excuse me, some cartels are known to hang bodies from the overpass in the city to let people see them. They
Mhm.
behead people, cut out
Yeah.
tongues. Where the mob, if there's someone that gets out of line, they discreetly get rid of that person and they dispose of the body so there's no trace
Right.
evidence and the body can't be found. The cartel
Right.
kind of puts it on display as in like, this is what happens when you cross us or you fuck with us kind of thing.
Right. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into the dissection of this list. You want to start with Goodfellas?
Yeah, we can start with Goodfellas. So basically, Goodfellas, to me, Robert De Niro's in it. So that right there says it all for me. You cannot
Mm-hmm.
go wrong with Robert De Niro. Um, to me, he's best actor of all time, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe somebody
Oh,
that
we are
got
we
more
already
Oscars than him.
we already put the disclaimer out there. This is our
Yeah,
opinion about
but
this,
yeah.
so
So
you go for it.
pretty much any Robert De Niro movie, you already know you got gold. But him, Joe Pesci, Ray Liotta,
Mm-hmm.
just basically an
Mm-hmm.
all-star cast. The movie has
Um.
everything that you need. It has enough murder, brutality, plotting, strategic thinking, organization of how a crime family works, backstabbing, snitching, or whatever you want to say, whatever you want to call them. But it has all the elements of a criminal empire going good and going bad.
Mm-hmm.
So for me,
Um.
that's why it would be my number one.
Um. Well, one of the reasons why I chose it, in the fashion and the way that it came up as being kind of the first thing that I wrote down was because the first time I saw it, I saw I saw more of like I was like it was like halfway through the movie, and I was compelled with like the shooting scenes, and then once I saw it from the beginning, I could respect how I was really intrigued about how the Italians grew up and how they kind of got groomed a little bit into that game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like it started off with um, he was going to go do little jobs, little here's and there's, and then his dad would, you know what I'm saying? He would
yeah,
beat him up or abuse him, whatever, and then eventually that would stop. And I think he said that he was like 13 years old, like he was like driving a car or something like that. So
yeah,
those things, and I was young, you know what I'm saying, when I watched the movie. So
yeah,
respect to the actors as well that are in that movie. It's good all the way through. If anyone out there who's watching this or will watch this podcast, it is a definitely a must see. It is a must
yeah.
see if you have not seen it. It's a little lengthy, but it's worth every little bit. Shout outs to what's his name? Is his name Paul Serrano? What's I think that's his real name.
Yeah, the guy that
But
played
what's
Paulie.
Paulie's real name, the actor?
Oh, it's
I mean, it's not
I
a big deal. I
it's
don't think I've ever even
it's
thought
Paul
about it.
something, Sir Paul Servino or Sereno. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right,
Yeah, I think that's what I
but
almost said.
yeah, but that's what it is. But I don't know the exact pronunciation of it. But yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
that. You know, he just passed away recently, not too long ago. I think
Oh
in
man, that's terrible.
2020, I think it was. Yeah, he
Mm-hmm.
just passed away not too long ago.
Shout
He's
outs
a
to him.
really
He was
dope
one of the.
actor too.
Yeah, I was just about to say he's one of the greater actors that whenever
Yeah,
he played a role, he played a really good role.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so we'll get into your second one, and then we'll get into the one that I
Okay.
got down.
Before we go into my second one, I just want to say one more thing about Goodfellas. One of the reasons why
Okay.
I think it's so iconic is the dialogue in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Like the dialogue is second to none. Just
Mm-hmm.
the way from Ray Liotta playing Henry Hill, him describing as a young man growing into the mob and trying to be a part of it, like you were saying, doing small
Mm-hmm.
jobs like torching cars and selling cigarettes. Just the
Mm-hmm.
dialogue of him describing it, a play by play, it gives you a more vivid picture than what the actual movie does. You know, him
Mm-hmm.
describing that to you. That's one of the things I really liked about the movie.
And to me, it felt real. It
Yeah,
felt to me like that's what it felt like. That's what the Italians really do, like how they
yeah,
really move and how they really do things. It really, yeah, it gave me that vibe
yeah,
for sure.
right.
All
So I'll
right,
get
we'll
into
go ahead
my
and move
second
on.
one now.
Go
My
ahead.
second one is Once Upon a Time in America. Now, if you
Okay,
haven't seen this, this is a
I
little
have.
lengthy. It's about a
It is a
4 hour
bit. It's
film.
long,
It's about
but
a
it's
four
great.
hour film. But once again, you got Robert De Niro. You cannot go
Mm-hmm.
wrong with this guy. He's just
Mm-hmm.
money. And anything he's in, he's money. So Robert De Niro is in it. James Woods plays the antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, saw like Goodfellas, it shows like their rise from children to men to
Mm-hmm.
bosses to being in the mob. The movie starts off with a bunch of kids playing, and they accidentally kill a guy. Rob De Niro is one of those kids. He goes to jail for murder, and he does 25 years. So basically, when they're kids, they're in a little street gang that they gave their own name, and they're just running around doing shit, tearing shit up. And him and James Woods are in the street gang together.
Mm-hmm.
So while they're in this gang, Rob De Niro explains like there's a girl in the neighborhood. He's in love with the girl. He wants to date her, marry her eventually, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He has
Mm-hmm.
plans to open this kind of club, casino, gambling establishment, and he had all
Right.
these ambitions and plans. When he goes to jail, his friend, as a kid, James Woods, s- starts dating the girl, gets with the girl, opens the club that he was talking about, basically steals all of his dreams and aspirations, and does everything he wanted to do as an adult. So
Mm-hmm.
when he gets out, he finds out all this, and he has to take him out and take control of all of this eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So for me, it's one of the better
It's definitely
movies.
an
Just
excellent film for sure.
yes,
For
from the
sure, I've seen it
storyteller
before.
aspect, it's
It's
so
definitely a
good.
good one.
Like
It's
I said, it's a little long. It's about 4 hours and a little bit of change, but it's so worth watching if you haven't
yeah,
seen it before.
definitely. Shout out to the younger generation out there. If you haven't seen that one, for
Yeah,
sure, give it a spin at least one time. Now,
yeah.
I've chose Donnie Brasco on my list as number
And you
two.
cannot go wrong with that. Because I couldn't
Now,
decide about Donnie Brasco or one other one in my list.
Johnny Depp and Al Pacino, definitely
Two heavy hitters.
big punchers as far as they were at their prime at that
Yeah,
time as far as their acting, and so they put that masterpiece together. And once again, it has that mob feel, and it like once again like that it felt real. Like it just feels like that's what the gangsters in New York do. Like they like you said, they discreetly handle their business in the shadows. They keep it what's the term, keep it in house.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
They handle their problems that way. They don't
hmm
try to yell out the window. They don't have a scrap. They don't have a war off. They just you just
yeah,
be gone.
yeah,
If I had to put it away.
yeah. One of the things that I like most about Donnie Brasco is the lingo. The lingo in
Yeah,
the movie
yeah. I was
is
gonna get to that. It's
it's
so
so spot on.
awesome. Yeah,
From
it is very
Fugazi
awesome.
to all the lingo in the movie is so
Oh,
good. It's so good.
oh. Before now that we're on the lingo, I'm not gonna hold you up too long on this, but when they go down to Miami and he has to help out that other Miami cop and they
Yeah.
show him the restaurant, he goes, "Wait till you see the banquet room you're gonna plot."
Yeah. the
That
lingo the
had me
lingo in Donnie
crying.
Brasco is second to none. Second to
If
none. The
if so
lingo in that movie is so good.
for the viewers that might be watching or not, or maybe who's going to be watching this or not,
Yeah.
um, Johnny Depp played an officer. He was an undercover FBI agent, and
Yeah.
in the particular scene that I'm talking about, he was helping another undercover officer.
Yeah.
So it's also a true story too. So
Yes,
that's
it is.
another reason why I really like it. But we can go ahead and move on to your third if you'd like,
But
or you can go
before we
ahead and
move
yeah,
on,
yeah, go ahead.
one of the things about Donnie Brasco is just if you haven't seen the movie, go to YouTube and just Google the
Hmm.
scene when Johnny Depp is explaining to the other FBI agents when he comes in to check in. He's explaining to
Hmm.
them how Italians and the mob use the word "forget about it."
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
It's incredible. The
yeah,
scene is
yeah, yeah.
incredible.
That's
It can mean forget
if
about it, it can mean, or it could just mean forget about it.
when the first time I watched it, I took it like very serious. I was like, yeah, that's right. But the more times I watch that scene over and over and over again, it gets more funny to me because those
It's
guys are really,
hilarious.
they're really like zoned in. They're like,
Yeah, it's like
oh, that's what it means.
Johnny
Oh,
Depp
wow,
and
that's so
Paul
cool.
Giamatti's
Like
in
this
it
guy is so
too.
cool.
Paul
Mm-hmm.
Giamatti's in it too. He's one of the FBI agents
Yeah.
that be asking Johnny Depp questions about the word "forget about it" because they use it in so many different ways in so many different sentences, and it's used to
Mm-hmm.
explain so many different things. And just the
It's
way they use
hilarious.
it, yeah, the scene is just it's money. The scene is so money.
What did he say? He's like,
He was
if he
like,
says,
"You're
"Hey,
talking about a
Paulie,
girl."
if you got a
Yeah.
2 inch pecker," he says, "Forget
Forget
about it."
about it. He said, "There's a hot smoking chick." I forgot the actress name that he used. He said, "So if you see so and so actors, you're like, oh, I'm gonna get with her. Forget about it." And then he's like,
Mm-hmm.
or it could just mean forget about it. This scene is so.
Right.
It's such a good
Yeah, it's
scene. It's
very
such a good
classic. It's a
scene.
very classic scene. Very,
Yeah,
very, very. That yeah, from start to finish, I
yeah,
love that movie, and
yeah,
it's a watch. I can watch that movie at any time.
yeah.
But we're gonna go ahead into your third,
Okay.
or if you want, I can go into my
So,
third. It doesn't matter.
so my third is a hidden gem. It's a movie came out in the early '90s. I think '92 to be
Mm-hmm.
exact. It's called Hit the Dutchman. It's
Okay.
about a movie about Dutch Schultz. It's got I think I can't think of the actor's name. The guy that played Dutch Schultz in the movie. I can't think of his name. But it basically the story starts off from Dutch Schultz like upbringing, uprising. So a lot of people don't know that his real name was Arthur Flagenheimer. And as he got more into the mob and the mafia, he changed it to Dutch Schultz because he's from Dutch, so he's the Dutchman. So he changed it to that. And basically, the movie just tells his story from ground zero, like him struggling, him being broke and poor, his family being broke and poor, him trying to bring himself up to be something. He's tired of being broke and poor, so he starts working for another real life person named Legs Diamond, who was like a small time guy, but he had a little organization. So he goes to work for Legs Diamond, and
Right.
he starts working for him, and he's doing good. He's a good earner. He's taking jobs. He's doing everything he asks him. Eventually, he outgrows him, and he kills Lex Diamond, takes over his business, and now he becomes Dutch Schultz, the Dutchman.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie pretty much tells the story of how he overcame him, how he became that fear, that ruthless, that crazy, and eventually his downfall, how he got killed, how he got set up and killed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the movie is it does not lack action. There's a lot of action in it, a lot of shooting scenes. If you're in the, I like old school shoot ups with Tommy guns. There's a ton of that in this movie. Yeah, so
Yes, I would like
that's
to. I
my
want to
third one.
add to. I want to add because the Hit the Dutchman is on my list, but real quick, I just want to a lot of people because you said that this is a hidden gem, and I remember watching this movie, and I didn't know anything about it until you told me about it. Like literally no idea whatsoever that this movie existed, and you
Yeah,
showed it to me, and it turned out to be one of the this is I would call this tough gangster movie. Like this isn't
yeah,
like
yeah,
business gangster trying to
yeah.
do
This isn't
politician work.
glitz and
This
glam
is the
and
trenches.
the
This is
yeah.
the hard, yeah, the hard stuff. So I just want to show
This
the
yeah
viewers
has a
real
lot of
quick
hits
what
in
this.
it, like how they
Hmm.
they take over territory. They got to hit this guy, take care of this guy, whack this guy, whatever the term they use. It's got a lot of that in it. It's a really good movie.
Hmm. Real quick, here we go. I just wanted to share with the people. This is what it looks like. If you ever run into this title right here, can you see that, Hydro?
No,
No, you can't see it. Okay.
okay, yeah, I see it now. Yep,
Yeah. Okay. Well, I
yeah,
just wanted to
that's
share
it.
that. Yeah.
That's the one. Classic movie. Really dope
Hmm.
movie.
If you
Super
ever get a
underrated.
chance if you ever get a chance to peep that out, definitely peep that out.
Super
All
underrated.
right.
Came from a small studio, didn't get a whole lot of press and publicity and marketing, but really good movie if you can find it. Check it out.
It's also it's dude, it's a movie about whether or not you just if you can just understand the story of Arthur Flegenheimer, there's no doubt in my mind that it gives you super duper replay value.
Yeah, it does. Between me and you, we probably watched it over 100 times, easy over
Over.
100 times in our
Yeah.
childhood.
I
Yeah,
can watch it now.
I could definitely. I just watched it not too long ago. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, really good
for
movie.
sure.
All right, so you want to get into your next one, or was that your next one as well too?
No, no, no. My third one
Oh, okay.
was Casino
Oh yeah, that's right.
with
That's right.
Robert De Niro and
Can't go wrong
Joe
with De
Pesci.
Niro. Can't go wrong with
The
De Niro.
movie is now here's let me tell you my little small story about Casino.
All
Okay,
right.
so it's I used to go over to my aunt's house, and they would always have they had like cable, they had like all the channels. You know what I'm saying? So I never had
Mm-hmm.
to watch a VHS. I never had to watch a DVD. I could watch whatever. And so they always had the double VHS movie Casino, right? Always just sitting there. And I never understood. I would always just be like, "What the?" And I would look at the cover, and I would be like, "Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci," and I
Yeah.
would set it down, right? And now I'm probably about like 12, 13. So I eventually just pop it in. And dude, when I say I watched that movie probably 4 times in a row that day, like I couldn't believe how good of
Yeah.
a movie that was. I really enjoyed it.
Yes, that's really good. So I'll just jump right into it because I had a tough time with two of yours, Casino and Donnie Brasco, deciding if I was going to put them on my list because
Mm-hmm.
Casino is that good. It's that good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my list was more so based on because some people might think Casino is a better movie than Miller's Crossing, and I wouldn't give
Mm-hmm.
them much argument on that. But I went by the ones that I watched more than any other. That I watched
Mm-hmm.
repeatedly over and over again. And I everything on my list, I watched it more than I watched Casino. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I went with that. But Casino is so good.
Right.
So good. There's so many
Absolutely.
iconic scenes in that movie. When Joe Pesci puts the guy's head in the vice grip, it's just bananas. It's just
Just the very
bananas.
thought of that, just the
Of a
very
human
thought of
head being
your
in a vice.
head,
It's insane.
you'll get any information you want out of a
Yeah,
person
he'll tell you
that you're trying to
anything.
get if you do that.
Yeah, he'll
They'll
tell
tell
you
you
anything.
Jesus Christ's social security number if you let them do that, if you do that.
Yeah, but just that scene is it's so iconic, but so bananas at the same time. That scene, the scene where the cowboy dude that he knew was in the casino and put his feet up, and
Oh
he's
my
on the
God,
phone and he's like,
yes.
"You put your
He
fucking feet
but he
up, you
asked
dumb
him.
fucking hick."
Oh, hold on.
That
Go ahead.
oh
Go
my
ahead. I'm
god,
sorry.
that scene is so iconic where he's just knocking the shit out of him with the phone because he put his feet up on the shit. Yeah,
But I
that
was just
movie is
about
so
this.
good.
Joe Pesci played because I think Casino came after Goodfellas,
Hmm.
so he was still fired up from the Joe Pesci character
From
from the
Tommy,
Goodfellas because
yeah,
he came straight in that
yeah,
movie and he was
yeah,
just kicking ass like all over the
yeah. He
place
was
like with
super
his
intense in
small
that
ass.
movie.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was definitely going crazy.
yeah.
That
That
was
movie's
awesome.
so
Great
good. That
movie.
movie's
Great
Casino is
super
so good.
replay value. Yeah.
Does have replay value, definitely. I've seen it
Super.
at
I've
least
seen it
easy more
hundreds
than
of
20
times.
times. Yeah,
Yes,
really good
definitely
movie.
very good. It's worth the length because that's another one that's about a
Yeah,
3 hour one right
yeah,
there.
but it's worth it.
If I
So
believe
worth it.
so. Yeah, definitely.
So worth it.
All right.
All right. So I roll right into my next one, which
I think it's
is
the last one.
I know I'm gonna get a lot of slack for this because a lot of people are gonna say it's not a mafia movie, but if you look up gangster movies on IMDb, top
Yeah,
gangster
I
and
watch.
mafia movies of
Yeah, I
all
look at
time,
that. Mm-hmm.
it's on the list. So don't judge me because I'm not the only person that considers it a mafia. But the next
Mm-hmm.
movie is American Gangster with Denzel Washington and Russell Crowe.
Hold on. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna be on no nothing. No. I'm okay with you picking that.
yeah.
But
But I know a lot of
I
people
was
won't be okay with it.
no. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm gonna let you explain
All
first,
right.
and
So
then and I'll get to my explaining. Sorry.
once again, for me, the reason why I said it is I like I like great storytelling. I like really good dialogue in movies.
Right.
The dialogue and the storytelling in this movie is fantastic to me. Also, it has some of the most iconic scenes you can ever remember, and just lines that he said in the movie were just second to none. The
Yeah.
scene where he's in the the coffee shop and he's having
Yes.
breakfast with his brothers, and he just
Mm-hmm.
like, hold on one second. He just gets up, walks outside, and shoots Idris Elba in the face, and then just comes back in and sits down and goes, "Oh, now what was I saying? What was I saying? like, like you didn't
If
just murder a man in cold blood on the street
in broad daylight.
in broad daylight."
Shout outs to Idris. But he
Yeah, for getting
was
his face blown off. Shout
he
out to
was
him.
mad annoying though.
He was.
Like
He was just
he
being
was
such a
mad. Like
prick.
he was just doing stuff just to be reckless, kind of. And that's
He was
like
just he
shout
was
outs to
the
him for
true
the he's a
definition of
great
what you
actor.
call doing the most. He was just doing the most.
Right,
He was just
right.
doing way too
And the
much.
reason why I shout out to him is because you know that he's British, right?
Yeah.
So he does a really good
Good American actor,
American
really
accent.
good,
Yeah, it really
really good.
got it down. Like he's been doing it for years, and he's
Because
just
I'll
got
tell
it
you this,
perfect.
when he first started, it was like maybe I want to say 4 or 5 years into his career before I actually found out that he was British. I
Yeah,
thought he was just
yeah,
another American everyday black dude.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He
he's
looks
really
like an
good.
American.
Yeah, I thought
Mm,
just him in movies, his voice, I really thought he was an American actor. I really thought he
mm-hmm,
was. Yeah, so and just the scene where they're at the party and they spill the shit on his rug, and he's like,
mm-hmm.
"You gotta blotch that shit. Don't wipe it. Blotch that shit."
That's such a rich person term right
That's
there. That
such a
was
rich
awesome at the
person.
time. Yeah,
Blotch
yeah.
it. Like
Blotch,
what the
blotch
fuck?
it.
Like
Yeah, that
who
was
says
awesome.
that? Who says that? This is a fucking dude from the middle of nowhere, from fucking the hick towns in North Carolina, came to Harlem, worked for Bumpy Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
and now this motherfucker's talking about blotching shit. You gotta blotch that shit. It's
But
so
see,
crazy.
he was running behind Bumpy for so
Right.
long,
For
and so
so
he knew
long.
about like the way that things should be and the way that
Right.
they
Right.
needed to be. So it was good for him to know, or he already knew about
Yeah.
blotching. He
Yeah.
probably told a
Such a
nigga. He
good
probably
thing.
told a nigga before that to blot something else. Like he
Yeah.
was just like, dude, I done this before. You need to get
That
on it.
nigga,
Like you need to
that's
go ahead
fucking
and blotch it.
alpaca. That's alpaca.
Yeah,
You gotta blotch that
yeah.
shit, nigga.
That
That's not a
that
regular
is
rug. That's
crazy.
alpaca, nigga. You gotta blotch that
Yeah,
shit.
that's
Scene
crazy.
is crazy.
Okay,
That scene.
now hold on. Go ahead.
There's one more scene to me that like really,
Go ahead.
it really gets me going. When he's in the car and he's with his brother, and he does the dumb shit, and Josh Brolin and them steal his drugs. The cop with the
When he
mustache and
gets
the
pulled
Mustang.
over.
Yeah. And he gets back in
Uh
the
huh.
car. He's like, you know, if you weren't my brother, I'll blow your motherfucking head off. And he was dead ass serious, like
Yes,
dead
he
ass,
wasn't
like he
playing.
was that heated with this nigga. Like, if you weren't my
Mm-hmm.
brother, I'll blow your motherfucking brains
I
out.
would blow your head off.
He was dead
Mm-hmm.
ass not playing with him, man. That scene is so, yeah, that scene is just so, it just does
Now,
it for me.
okay. So now let me get into the last one on my list.
All right.
So I got Carlito's Way. Now I've seen that movie only like once or twice, and it was kind of a scrape up on IMDb because I told you I was about the timing on my list. But
Yeah.
underneath it, I got Scarface question mark. Now the reason why I have that
Mm,
on there
mm.
is also the reason why I asked you if a cartel was a mob, and I wanted to ask your opinion about that first, and
Yeah.
then I would say I would definitely replace Carlito's Way and then readjust my list if that's the
Yeah.
case to put
Yeah.
Scarface back on there.
I can see that. I can see that. I thought about Scarface. I thought about Scarface. I thought about it.
But see, the reason why Scarface is a little bit shaky is because he wasn't in one loyal organization until he became his own loyal
Right,
organization.
right, right,
He
right.
bounced from Frank to
Sosa.
the Brazilian Sosa, and then
Yeah.
he started flying solo, and then
Yeah.
he took like 1,000 bullets at the end. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Now the
all
last one
right.
on my list, I can. It's Miller's Crossing.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is a hidden gem too. If you haven't seen it, it's an old
Okay.
movie. It's I believe it came out in 80s, 87.
Oh, 80. I'm gonna have to bring this one up
Yeah,
for the viewers.
yeah. Go ahead and look it up. It's called Miller's Crossing. It's really good. So the movie itself is not a whole lot of action and gunplay in it. It's more like strategic, like showing like how people can basically like just bullshit their way through like negotiating deals with like mob bosses and mob people. Just like, okay, well, I'll give you this much booze, you give me this much leeway with this. I can give the cops this much to handle this. So basically, it's more or less like the inner workings of like how like criminal organizations are run. It's not a whole lot of action, not a whole lot of killing in it, but
Right.
there's a very iconic scene in the movie where they come to
Mhm.
kill one of the bosses. He's like probably like a 60, 70-year old man. They
Mhm.
come to kill him at his house, and he's in a bathrobe, some soft bedroom slippers, smoking a cigar, sitting in his house. The hit
Mhm.
team comes to kill him, but he's a boss. He's not a fucking dummy. So he's so on point.
Mhm.
So he knows they're coming. So he's just going through the house like, he's getting ready for bed, bullshitting.
Right.
They come in the room and he's laying on the floor with the Tommy gun under the bed, and he just starts fucking sawing their fucking legs in half. The
Mhm.
first like four guys that come in the room, he just fucking saws their legs off at the shin bones with the Tommy gun. Then he
Mhm.
gets up, rolls over the bed, goes out to the hallway, shoots them dead because they're all like their legs are hanging off, fucked up. He just goes and unloads on their backs, kills them all. Then more guys come in. He starts letting the Tommy off again, rolls over the bed, reloads it, falls out the window down the side of the house, slide down the side of the house, and just empties this motherfucker into the car of the rest of the goons.
Damn.
The driver doesn't die. So he's backing down the
Mhm.
driveway. The old man is just walking them down, just unloading this fucking Tommy gun, reloading, unloading, and just till
Let,
there's
let
nothing
me,
left of the car.
if I'm not mistaken, let me see. I'm gonna share this screen real quick to make sure that
All right.
it's the same movie that we're talking about right here. I think there's only one Miller's Crossing, right?
Yeah, I think there's only one. Yeah, it's really dope. I forget
This
the
one?
actor's name that's in it. Oh,
Is
I'm
this
trying
it?
to think of his name. Yes, that's it. That's it. That's it.
1990s.
Oh, it was 90. Okay, but yeah, that's it. So it's got I can't think of his name, but the guy that played in Usual Suspects. He was the
Um,
he was the guy that
Not Kevin Spacey.
not Kevin Spacey, the guy that saved Kevin Spacey on the
Um,
boat. The one that Kevin Spacey was looking up to him was like, he's my
uh,
friend. He's a good guy.
mm-hmm.
Him. He also played in End of Days. He played the devil in End of Days with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I can't think of his name. I think it's Gabriel
I have no
something.
idea.
And also the guy from what's the guy's name? I can't think of his name. He played in Mr. Deeds with Adam Sandler. The guy that was very, very sneaky. That's one that changed the socks.
Mm-hmm.
He plays in it too.
Um,
He's good in it too. He's really good in it.
he plays in a lot of movies, and I
Yeah.
have no idea what that
I
guy's
can't
name
think of his
is.
name, but that's the guy. He also played in the Transformers. He was the Sector 7 guy in the Transformers movie. But yeah, he's in
Mm-hmm.
it. He's really good in it. It's a really dope movie. If you haven't seen it, I promise you, go see it. You will enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Uh,
All right, so that rounds up the mafia list there.
all right, so we can roll
Let's
right into the action list.
okay.
All right, so my top action is the Ray Redemption,
Okay.
Expendables,
Mm-hmm.
John Wick 3, Shoot 'em Up,
Mm-hmm.
and Olympus Has Fallen.
Okay.
All right, so where are you at with these?
Um, I forgot about Olympus Has Fallen,
Yeah.
but I got Tears of the Sun.
Ah, that's fucking dope.
I got RoboCop. I
Oh,
got Bloodsport,
yeah.
and I've got any Bruce Lee title,
That's
and
good.
then
Can't go wrong
and
with
then
that. Can't
and
go
then I
wrong.
got Saving Private Ryan because of
Can't
that opening
can't go
Normandy
wrong with
scene.
the Bruce Lee. Any Bruce Lee movie, you cannot go wrong.
You gonna see some. There's gonna be some
There's
action
going to be some
for
action.
sure.
You cannot go
For
wrong with that.
sure.
Okay,
Yes.
so There's really three on my list that I really want to talk about. The other two are self-explanatory. The Expendables,
Yeah.
the Expendables is self-explanatory. You got
Mhm.
every known action star from the fucking 80s and the
Right.
90s. You know it's going to be an action movie. You can't go
Mhm.
self-explanatory. No need to explain it. John Wick.
Right.
If you haven't seen the John Wick movies by now, you're a fucking asshole. So we don't need to go over that. Okay,
Mhm.
the three I want to talk about is Shoot 'Em Up. It's got the actor Clive Owen in it. Now I can
Okay.
tell you this with absolute certainty: the plot of the movie is completely asinine. It makes no
Uh huh.
sense. I mean, no sense. I mean, if you try
Mhm.
to make sense out of it, you're gonna hurt yourself trying to make sense of it.
But it's an action movie,
But
so.
the action in the movie is second to none. It's called Shoot 'Em Up for a reason. Clive Owen must kill at least 400 henchmen in this
Right.
movie. More than John Wick. More than
Right.
all three John Wick movies combined, probably. He probably killed more people than all of them. Now, there wasn't as
Mhm.
gruesome, as detailed, and as hardcore as John Wick. But if you're just looking for some straight up, get your fucking head blown off kind of movie, Shoot 'Em Up is the movie to watch.
Okay.
Okay? So the next one, Olympus Has Fallen. I feel like it's a
Mhm.
hidden gem. Like people know about it. They made three of them. It was Olympus Has Fallen, London's Fallen,
Uh
and
huh.
then Angel Has Fallen. But I
Mhm.
still feel like the first one is a hidden gem because people don't talk about it enough when they talk about good action movies. It
Right.
was the the opening sequence, like the first like attack on the White House in the start of the movie. It's like maybe
Mhm. You talking about
15
like
20 minutes.
the very first one?
Yeah, it's like 15 20 minutes into the
Yeah.
movie. That gunfight at the White House on the White House lawn is
Mhm.
insane. Is insane.
Mhm.
Where they come up with the dump trucks, blow the tires, and then come out with the 50 cal machine
Mhm.
guns, and they're just fucking shredding through the Secret Service. I mean, just shredding these fucking guys like nothing.
Um, I always pictured that that's probably that's you would need all of that for real if you were gonna actually try to get into the White
Yeah,
House. I
yeah,
believe that you're really gonna need that much stuff.
yeah.
I'm not saying
Because
that there's no
they
click,
came with it.
there's no what do you call it? There's no terrorist group that's just gonna roll up in there. You're just
Yeah,
not gonna just roll up in there
yeah.
like that.
They came to get the job done with the 50
Yes,
cal
they had
machine guns, the
yeah,
RPGs, fucking explosive gas. They came to get the job done, and they got it
yeah,
done.
and they did,
They
and they
got
did.
it done. But they fucked around, didn't know Mike Bannon was on the scene. He got with their ass too.
Right.
The last one I want to talk about is my number one, The Raid Redemption.
Hmm. Okay.
If you haven't seen this
I
movie,
have not seen this movie.
oh my
You said
god,
it's called Raid Redemption.
The Raid Redemption. The second one is called The
Okay.
Raid 2. The second one is just as good. Just as good. I have the second one on my list in question mark. Like right under Olympus Has Fallen, I have Raid 2 question mark because the second one was that good as well. It was like that
Hmm.
good. So here's my list. There's Olympus Has Fallen. There's the Raid 2 with the question mark.
Okay.
Because I couldn't. The second one is just as good, but the first one
All right.
is it will blow your fucking mind the first time you see it. There's no other action movie like this. It has
Let me
everything. Okay, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I'm gonna show the if this
Oh
is
yeah,
the
yeah,
right, because you said these hidden gems that people don't know about.
yeah.
Want
It
to make
should be
sure
a
that they
guy
can give me
standing
show them the
outside like a
titles.
giant, like apartment building
Yeah,
complex, standing in like
I
some
got you.
police like SWAT gear, looking up at the building.
I I got you, B.
Yes, that's it. That is
This
fucking
one
it.
here.
That is fucking it. This movie is so fucking good and action packed. It got if you're an
Mm-hmm.
action fan, it's got everything you want. It's got gunplay, it's got hand to hand combat, It's got knife fights. It's got fist fights. The last scene of the movie, okay, they
Mm-hmm.
so basically the premise of the movie is you see that big ass apartment complex thing that he's standing in front of.
Uh-huh.
Okay, there's a drug lord in there that the police are trying to arrest. They can't arrest him because, excuse me, he's on the top floor in that building. And
Mm-hmm.
basically, he's taking over the whole building. Basically, like
Mm-hmm.
most of the tenants in the building work for him. The ones that don't work for him are so afraid because the cops won't do nothing to them. The cops won't come and arrest them, do anything to them, that they don't fuck with them. So
Mm-hmm.
there's like I think it's like I want to say like 12 guys, like a 12-man squad, like a SWAT unit. That's
Mm-hmm.
they're going to go in and get them, and they're going to go
Mm-hmm.
in stealth mode, kind of like uh, uh SEAL Team 6 type shit. They're going
Oh,
to
yeah,
go in
yeah, yeah, yeah.
completely stealth,
Mm-hmm.
get this guy, get him out. Now the plan
Mm-hmm.
was to go in completely stealth and get him out, but there's a dirty cop in the mix. So
Mm-hmm.
they get tipped off that they're coming in. They still get in kind of stealthy, and they're making their way up. They're like, I forget what floor they're on. They're making their way up, clearing each floor. They're putting everybody in zip ties, regardless if you're a crook or
Mm-hmm.
not. They're just kicking in doors, zip tying anybody moving in the hallway, anything, and they're going up to get this guy. They get made on like I can't remember what floor was they get made, and then they come on the loudspeaker in the apartment building, the drug lord, because now he's got the building wire where he got speakers on every floor. He comes on the loudspeaker and he basically says, "There's cops in the building coming to get me. Kill them all, and whoever kills them is going to get paid." Basically, so they go to kill all the cops, and the cops have to fight their way out. Basically, they have to fight for their lives for real to get out of there. So the cops are just fighting and killing, trying to get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the main actor in it is I don't want to butcher his name. I can't pronounce it. If anyone's seen the movie
Mm-hmm.
Mile 22 with Mark Wahlberg and Ronda
No.
Rousey,
Is that another army style SWAT kind of thing?
yeah, yeah, but it's a movie that came out not too long ago, like when Ronda Rousey was at her peak. She's in it,
Mm-hmm.
and Mark Wahlberg. It's the Asian dude. Well, he's Asian. I think he's Thai. I think he's from Thailand or something. I'm not sure,
Mm-hmm.
but he's the main guy in the movie. And
Mm-hmm.
this movie is so fucking brutal. When I tell you it's brutal, it's fucking brutal. The end
Mm-hmm.
scene, how they kill like the mob, like the drug lord guy second in command, is so
Mm-hmm.
brutal. This movie is so intense, dude. Like it's bananas. When I say banana, I mean bananas, bro. It will blow your
Uh-huh.
fucking mind when you see this for the first time.
Really?
The
Okay.
first time I saw this, the first time I saw the movie, I watched it,
Mm-hmm.
rewound it back, watched it again. I watched it 3 times back to back the first time I saw this movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's how
That
fucking good it
that's
was.
pretty sick. That's pretty
Yeah.
sick. Instant replay value.
I watched it 3 times in the same day. I watched it right back, and then I watched it again that evening. It was that good.
Oh well, for the record, I don't know why I go through spells like that too. If I really, really, really like something, I'll let it just play, even if it's just playing in the background.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
But
let me get into
all right,
this list. I'm gonna hold. I ain't gonna hold you up on a few of the items like you as well. Um, Bruce Lee, that name and that dynasty, it speaks for itself. You can Google him, you
absolutely.
can YouTube video him, you can
Yeah,
watch his whatever, and it'll make you want to watch the rest of the
right.
movies. Um, so I'll start from the top with Tears of the Sun. Now, if you are a military fan of secret ops, covert, conspiracy, behind the scenes, political. stuff like that. This movie has it all, you know.
It has,
And
yeah,
I'm not
definitely
gonna,
does.
excuse me, I'm not gonna get into more of the political and the whys, and they were doing it because that would just kind of throw the movie for the person who's watching.
Right.
But I'll just get into the reason why I put it on the action list, and it's because every fight scene made you feel like as if you were in that pack with
Mm,
those guys
yeah.
and you were fighting along with them and you
Mhm.
were in that struggle with them, and for the director and the writer to grasp the audience in that way, I felt
Yeah.
was really 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 cool, because I've never felt like that in a movie, you know what I'm saying. I'm most of the times I'm watching, because when the actors got to the point where some of them started dying, it almost felt like emotional to you, the person, because you felt
No,
like
it
you
did. It
lost.
did.
Yeah, because it felt like
No,
you lost
I
a friend.
cried a couple times on that movie, and
Yeah,
I'm
it
not
almost
ashamed
make you
to
feel.
say it.
Yeah,
It got me a
it's
couple times.
heartbreaking. To me, if I'm only not gonna say this, I'm not gonna ruin it for anybody out there. But when Soap got it, that's the one that
Yeah,
really made me
yeah, yeah,
sad. Yeah, that made me
yeah,
sad. I'm
yeah,
not gonna say any more because I don't want to ruin it for anybody who's
yeah,
watching out there. But that part right there was
yeah,
super duper sick. But
yeah,
other than that, it's a mission that they go on, and every aspect, all the way. That final scene is pretty crazy.
yeah.
And all right, so I'm gonna go to the next one, and that's going to be RoboCop. I'm sure by now, if you've lived in America from
Right.
the 80s until up to this point, you've seen RoboCop at some point in time, whether you liked it
Right.
or not. Whether
I feel
a
like
kid
the
had a
same way with
toy,
the John Wick. If you haven't seen RoboCop
yeah,
by now, you're an asshole. You need to see it. It's an American classic. You haven't seen it
yeah,
by now, you're an
it's
asshole.
and to me, the reason why I chose the RoboCop is because, well, first of all, gee, for Christ's sakes, the first opening scene is hit. They're out doing is arresting people and showing how hard their job is in Detroit, Metro City, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But so right, go a little bit further, and when Murphy gets jammed up by the brutal
Oh
gang
man.
that was that. I'm not gonna run it for everybody, but I'm pretty sure everyone's seen it by now. But that the way they did Murphy
Yeah, he
was
got fucking dealt with.
that.
He got fucking cranked up.
Okay, hold on. See, I think I mentioned this before in the mafia category. When I first watched it, I was heartbroken for Murphy. I couldn't even watch that scene at one point. When I was a kid, I loved RoboCop so much that I couldn't even watch that scene. I would fast forward it because it,
Yeah.
it showed a point when he was at worst. But now that I watch it as an adult, I'd be like, damn, that is just wrong how they just did that,
Yeah,
man.
that
Like
nigga
they
got dealt with.
literally turned this man into minced meat, like out there. Like literally put him through. They made him look bad, dude.
Yeah, they fucked him up. They fucked Murphy up. Yeah,
But
RoboCop is definitely one. I'm glad you brought that up because I I love RoboCop too. I love it,
mhm,
and
yeah.
I didn't put it on my list, but it being on your list, I'm totally okay with that.
The Ed 209 fight for the first time
Yeah,
when he was like destroying the crap out of RoboCop, gets his
cop.
like mask
Yeah,
blown off. He's like all half mask. He's got like a bunch of bullet hole dents in him, and then
yeah.
it's like he ends up finding out that all he really needed to do was walk down a set of stairs and he could defeat, yeah, Ed
And
209. That
so
was like
that
the easy.
that was like the easiest come up ever. Like, nigga, you can't go downstairs. You retarded fuck.
There goes our $10 billion project right there. Can't even go
Right, right,
downstairs. What a useless piece
right.
of shit that is.
And Dick Jones thought Ed 209 was the shit because he had mad guns on him, but the nigga designed it where he can't walk down a flight of steps.
Not to mention what when they showed off the prototype, he literally murdered somebody in the room
Yeah,
while they were showing off the prototype. That was full blown murder. And they just,
yeah.
what would you tell that? What would you tell that man's wife right there? What happened?
Right, like, he ain't coming home from work today. He
He
got
learned.
slaughtered at a board meeting.
He works at an office and he got blown away. Only him though, no one else.
Right, he got slaughtered at a board meeting today. He's not gonna make it home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Sorry
scene
for
was
your
crazy.
loss. This dude that got murdered. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep going because the Saving Private Ryan. I'm gonna go ahead and just go over right now because that's
That's a
also.
you know what though, with the same Private
Hmm.
Ryan and the Tears of the Sun, I
Hmm.
think we need to do on the part two that we're gonna do to this podcast in particular. I think we need to add another section of greatest
Hmm.
war movies of all time.
Oh man, yeah, there's a couple of them out there, big time.
Yeah, I think we need to go ahead and add that category on part two.
Hmm.
I think we need to add that category because Saving Private Ryan is a fucking crazy film.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's another one that'll pull at your heart, your
yeah,
heartstrings.
yeah,
Literally get you feeling all kinds of ways. Like you said, you feel like you're part of the boys in that one.
right,
Like you're you're
right,
you're marching
right,
along with them
right.
and you're going along. And so it's action from the beginning, and it's
Hmm.
a drama, and then more action, and then drama,
Yeah,
and then it has a crazy finale. So we're both in agreement on that one. But the last one I'm just gonna get to is Bloodsport,
yeah,
and it's because like everything starting from when he had to flee the country. He had like the cops chasing him in Hong Kong,
yeah,
and then he had to go through this weird, disgusting back alley just to get to the fight, and then like he had to prove himself at the fight too. So it
yeah.
was it's crazy,
Classic.
and also true. That's a true story too as
Yeah,
well.
classic. Can't go wrong.
Hmm.
Van
All
Damme in his
right,
prime. Can't go wrong.
yeah, splits. If Van Damme's doing the
Right,
splits in a movie, then that's the prime
right.
Van Damme
Can't go
right
wrong.
there.
And Bolo Young in that movie.
Oh
Can't
man,
go
and he was
wrong.
huge,
Fucking
dude.
swole
Like
ass Chinese dude.
he was he was massive.
Fucking jacked ass
Shout outs to
Chinaman.
Bolo, but he was
Shout out to
probably
Bolo
five
Young.
one.
Yeah,
Shout
but
out to Bolo, but he
he
was
was
five
jacked
one
in the
probably.
1970s when he fought
Yeah, he
Bruce
was
Lee
big
at Enter the
then.
Dragon. He was
Yeah,
fucking jacked.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's crazy. So we'll just go ahead and keep rolling. I'll roll right into the horror ones.
Okay, I got
So
that one
my
right.
top five horror is not
Hmm.
based on, I guess, what you think is the scariest movie ever. Like it's just for me, my top five horror movies that I watch more than any
Yeah, I
other
guess
one.
you're just, but yeah, your personal opinion. Go for it.
Yeah. So mine would be Friday the 13th, Part Six. Jason Lives.
Okay,
Friday
just
the 13th,
okay.
Part Seven. The New
Hmm.
Beginning.
Oh
Halloween
man.
4.
Hmm.
Sinister. And there's a hidden gem. If you haven't seen this movie, Feast, you need to go out and find it and watch it.
Feast.
Feast. It
Feast.
is so
Let me
good.
bring this craziness
Yeah,
up, bro.
bring that up,
Hold
bro.
on, B.
Bring that up. You definitely got to bring that up because yeah, that's one that people need to see. It's so good. Matter of fact, I'm gonna see. Let me see.
All right, I think I got it up. I'm not sure if it's the
All
right
right,
one,
let
but
me see.
you
Let
can.
me see if you got the right
All right,
one.
hold on. Let me get the sharing thing going on. Um, Feast. This joint. Look, if this is the one, it the
Let me see what you
whatever
got.
the it looks ugly as hell, yo.
Yeah,
Is what it
I,
is. It
if it
does
looks
look.
ugly as hell, I think you got the right
This
one.
joint look mad ugly. I ain't gonna hold you. This thing looks ugly, yo.
Yes, that's it. That's Feast. That's Feast.
Yeah,
That's
this
it.
thing is ugly, yo.
So if you haven't seen it, I'm just going to talk about this one because all the rest of the ones I'm pretty sure everybody's seen, heard, know about. But I'm gonna talk about Feast. So basically, the
Okay,
movie
go for
starts
it.
off. The movie starts off. There's like some patrons in a bar. Like there's like two couple guys shooting pool. Military dude just came home from service, and he's at the bar having a stiff one. There's a couple of people sitting at tables eating food. There's a hot waitress as usual, blonde hot waitress, airhead type.
Mhm.
There's an
Mhm.
old bartender, and there's an old drunk lady in the bar. So
Mhm.
the movie starts off like that. They're all in this bar having a drink, music playing. Everybody's doing their own thing, but they're kind of like putting the camera on everybody, letting them know what their story is.
Mhm.
Okay. Then the next thing you know,
Mhm.
a woman busts in the bar, covered in blood, carrying a shotgun. She comes in the bar like, we gotta lock this place down. Like they're fucking coming. We gotta get ready.
Mhm.
They're out there and they're coming.
Mhm.
So everybody in the bar is basically like, what the fuck is up with this chick? Like she's fucking weird. We don't know what the fuck she's on. She got a fucking shotgun.
Mhm.
So, but this is the thing that's great about this movie that makes it so fucking good. So every time they introduce a character,
Mhm.
like like I told you, you see the opening scene, everybody's in the bar. But when they introduce a character is when they have their first like words to the applies to the whole setting of the film. So when she busts in, they're like, she's the hero. They give her life expectancy, her chances of living, like
Oh.
all this
Oh,
on
it's like
her, right?
a little hub, a little
Right, like
update
right.
of health of
Like
that's
most
cool.
likely
I
not
like
to
that
get
already.
killed.
Yeah.
And she busts in, she's
Yeah.
like saying all this shit. They're
That's
like, oh
cool.
shit, she's badass, this, that, and the third. Then her husband busts in right behind her. And they're like,
Mhm.
oh, he's the hero, brave, kid got eaten by a monster. He's got nothing
He's
to
got
lose kind of thing. That dad that's got nothing to
attribute
lose kind of,
stats.
yeah, yeah. It's fucking
Oh my god,
insane.
that's
It's so
great.
funny, but it's so good
That's great.
because it's every like stereotype for a horror film. So then like
Mhm.
when they glance over to the pool table, the guys shoot pool, it's like the dickhead asshole jerk guy in every horror film. They glance over the hill,
Mhm.
they're like, okay, local asshole. Drinks a lot of beer, talks a lot of shit, hardly ever gets laid, but
Wow,
talks
it's like
about getting
that.
laid all the time.
Way.
The movie is so fucking funny. And then, so I don't want to spoil the movie, but everybody's little attributes and stats can change at any
Mm.
time in the movie. And
Oh,
they're
yeah, from like alive to dead.
right. Or like you thought this person was the shit and they were like a hero and shit, and then they do some shady crooked shit and then their attributes change.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
yeah.
So
The
sort of
movie is
like a video
so
game a little bit.
yeah, the movie is so good. It's so good. And it's like it's one of those horror films like the kind I like where I don't need a whole lot of explanation into like where the monster came from or why he's killing people or who he's mad about. It's a fucking
Does it
monster. It
matter
fucking kills
sometimes?
people. It eats people.
It
That's what the
doesn't.
fuck it does.
Yeah,
That's all I need to know.
that's
Fucking monster
he's
outside is trying to eat
designed for
people.
death. He's
Right. That's
designed for
all I need to
death.
know. I don't need to dwell into his life history, why he's a monster, who pissed him off when he was 13. Like, I don't give a shit. It's a monster. He eats people. That's all I need to know. And so the monster, they show up and they just start fucking eating people, killing people. It's fucking insane. So the whole
That's
movie, they're
funny.
trapped in this bar trying to get out different ways. And it gets down to like what shit would really be like. Like how in horror
Mhm.
films, there's always like this brave guy is going to lay down his life and die for a stranger that he don't know. No, like everybody in this bar is like backstabbing each other left and right, trying to get the fuck out of there. Like real people would
Yeah,
do in a
the goal is to
situation like that.
survive. Yeah, the
Right,
goal is
like
to survive.
right. Yeah, but yeah, I would. You definitely got to check this out, bro. You
Okay.
definitely got to check this out because
I'll
you would
definitely
love it and
check
get a
that
kick
out.
out of it just as much as I do.
No, I already like the attributes idea. That's a great
Yeah.
idea. All right, so now I think
So
we're
what are
gonna
you
have to
gonna
save
roll
this
with?
for another episode
All right.
because you started firing off particular Friday the 13th episodes. If we could take, I could do a whole
Yeah, you
entire list of
know.
just
Yeah,
that
we
by
know. We're
myself
gonna.
on my on which ones. So
You
what
know how
I
we
just
like
put
Friday the
Friday.
13th. We're gonna go nuts
Yes,
on that.
that's shout out. I will do an entire show on any day. It wouldn't even have to be Halloween. But
So,
I,
so
I
what we
put
could do is we could save that for part two. We'll go over your top
yeah,
five horror,
okay,
and then we'll delve
got you.
into the rest of them on
Yeah,
the
I
part
got
two
you.
of this one.
Go ahead and highlight that one.
Yeah, let me
Okay.
mark that down. And we got to go over those.
So I just put Friday the 13th as a whole,
Okay.
and then let me explain my list first.
All right.
I went with stuff that a few of these actually frightened me as a child, and
Okay.
then
I
other
could.
ones I did for entertainment, and the other ones I did for its shock value and actual
Yeah.
like directorial value.
Okay.
So Friday the 13th, of course, I told you it's a fan favorite amongst the American culture.
Yeah.
Um, I put Candyman on here. Now
Oh.
this thing scared me as a child, dude, like big time. I watched it once when I was a child, and I couldn't even watch it till I was like in my teens. Like I couldn't
Okay.
even, I didn't even. It terrified me. Now
Okay.
I'm gonna rock your brain real
All right.
quick because this is something that you may know or may not know because it's a very underrated. It's people can say what it is. I don't care. It is a B-rated movie,
All
but
right.
it was terrifying as a kid. But once I watched it over, it is probably one of the most hilarious things that you've ever seen in your life. So I
Uh,
already have the graphic up here, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up
all
so you
right.
can
I
see
can't wait to see
and
this one.
tell me what you think. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but this
All right.
this movie is. If I mention this in my family, people understand what I'm saying. They're like
Mhm.
that whack ass movie, but I think it was insanely good.
All right.
Okay, do you see this?
Which one?
They're all the same thing.
Oh, what is it?
It's called The Stuff.
The
Okay, now
stuff?
hold
No,
on.
I've never seen that.
Okay, let me explain. Okay, because a lot of people have not seen this movie. All right.
Okay.
The reason why I put this on the list is because the use of uh, special effects for that time period, I felt like it was really good. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like the storyline and all that nonsense is pretty whack. But I'll tell you, I'll give you a real Cliff Notes version of this movie
All right.
to show you how Americans think. All right, so these these people are at this industrial plant
Mm-hmm.
and they see this steam coming from some like on a property that's on near this plant or whatever. So they go to investigate it, and they see it's this big giant white pool, right? Like pool,
Mm-hmm.
like it's just like it looks like a Wendy's frost, like a pool, like just sitting like
Right.
just fucking out of nowhere. Like it didn't
Right.
come from like aliens or anything. It just appeared. That decided to do this. So and man and the dudes in this industrial and all their wisdom and knowledge decide that they're gonna stick their pinky into the white goo and lick it, right? And they eat it. So once they eat it, the dude literally said, "This tastes amazing," right? So the next guy eats it, and then the next guy eats it, and so they keep on eating it, right? So this is what I'm getting get to. So you kind of get where I'm going. These people start packaging and selling this stuff. So literally, you could go to the grocery store and see the stuff on the shelf, get a 6-pack of the stuff, take it home. You know what I'm saying? The kids, look, they had a commercial in there where the kids be fighting over the stuff. Okay,
The
all
stuff,
right,
and that's what it's called. The
literally,
stuff.
literally, what else you gonna call it? This crap just came from the earth somewhere. It's not even so.
The stuff. All right.
The science, look, it's crazy. Look, scientists don't even know what it is, but FDA will approve it. Like this is crazy. Like that's what happened.
That's
Anyway,
America for you.
see, right. So long story short, right? People started understanding that the stuff was really eating you from the inside out. Okay. So
Oh,
now, so the reason why I said I put this on my list and it did scare me when I was a kid is because when I was younger, when the bodies used to like fall apart and you used to see like the insides and it was all like hollow and eaten out, like dude, it was gross. It was terrifying. It was great for, like I said, for the special effects for that time
right,
period
right,
was very,
right.
very good. If you look at it
I
now,
gotta
you'll
try to
probably think it's the
find
worst
that.
thing you've ever seen in your life. But still, I put that on there. But other than that, I put Evil Dead and
Okay, yeah.
Devil's
Evil Dead.
Rejects. I put the Devil's Rejects on there
Ah,
for
that's a good one. That's a
directorial because Rob Zombie did a great job, and the
yeah.
writers and directors did a great job of the way they handled that movie.
That's a good
Um,
one.
yeah, because it was a little bit different because I was unbalanced. I didn't know which way to go. I didn't know if it was more of a movie, like a drama, intense, graphic drama movie, or was it a horror? And of course, knowing Rob Zombie, it's definitely a horror movie.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a really good one. The
All right.
stuff. I'm gonna have to look that one up. I'm gonna look that one up. You definitely got to check out Feast, though.
Okay.
You
No, let
definitely
me
got to
write
check
this
Feast.
down, dude. Because I like that. Yeah. The aspect, like I said, the attribute.
Yeah, that would be a good one for you to watch with Jen. I think y'all would both like that one. That's a good one. If she's
Okay.
into horror like that, I think that would be a good one for y'all.
All right. So we're down to the final list here. We're gonna go ahead and pop off on the comic now. This is um, first of all, this is our opinion and the way we feel about
Right.
comics. Okay. So little backdrop story is I'm pretty sure you read the comics too, right?
Yes. I'm
Yes,
pretty
and I
sure
read
by
the.
now the people watching our show know that we were both nerds at one point in our lives. We may seem cool and laid back now, but I know they know that we
Yes,
were
yes,
nerds at some time in our lives.
yes. We read out there somewhere reading, but
Yeah. I mean, for crying out
but
loud, we used to hang out in Private Library after school.
hey
That
man,
was an
that was.
exciting day for
You,
us.
you know what's funny? You know what's funny that you said that is because I was talking to somebody about Gianni's Pizza.
Oh man, that's a
Do you
throwback
remember
right
that,
there.
dude?
Yeah,
Dude, I
the
was
Italian
saying,
dude would have all the fucking
yeah.
hair sticking out right here, the greasy ass head,
Dude, we used to go there after school and get those
and
pizza
get
man
the same
slices that
thing every day, and to the
yeah.
point where he just knew what we were when we walk in. Slice pepperoni, slice of cheese.
Yep.
Dude,
Yep.
we were so broke back then. We got one slice of pizza. We made a trip over
But
there
it
to
was
get
the
one
greatest
slice of
slice of
pizza.
pizza.
It
The
was. It was
greatest
so
slice
good.
of pizza that you could
You
get.
would
It
get a
was
cheese, I get a pepperoni. We sit there,
hmm
eat pizza like two old men getting off work, shooting the shit.
But for real though, the slices were big enough like you could legit
Yeah, they
like
would
cut them in
definitely,
half and they were
yeah,
like two
and
pieces of
get two
pizza
slices.
basically. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. So
Man.
we'll jump right into these superhero ones, and I'll
Okay.
jump right in my
Go for it.
list. Okay, for me, my number one, Batman Begins. My
Okay.
number two, Captain America, the first Avenger.
Mhm.
Number three,
Okay.
Avengers Endgame. Number
Mhm.
four, Captain America Civil War. Number five, The Dark Knight.
Okay.
Now, my list is based on my rewatching of these. How many times I watched
Okay.
it. All right.
So this is a
So
dissection within a dissection.
yes, this is a dissection within the dissection because when I find something I like, I will wear that shit out.
Mm-hmm. For
You know
sure.
this from how many times we watched Full Metal Jacket.
Oh man, if
Yeah,
you've never seen that, you will definitely watch that opening scene more than 18
more.
times in a row.
Yeah, yeah. So that's my five. So where you, what are you rolling with?
Um, you see, I think I was talking about my excuse me, my list being a little bit rushed and a little bit sped through, but so I didn't
Hmm.
get exact names of movies. You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay.
exact movie titles.
Right,
I went.
right. No, but we'll
I
know
just
what you're talking about.
comic. The comic series is kind of where I went with.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
so like the first one, of course, being like Spider-Man, the series. Like
Can't go wrong with
I could
Spider
go
Man.
from Spider-Man all the way to Spider-Man 2042 when he
Yeah,
was in the future. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
So,
I
oh,
read
Spider
those
Man two ninety
comics.
nine when he had the black suit and the
299,
top.
not 2040. That's
Yeah,
what
when
it
he had the
is.
black
Yeah,
suit with
299.
the white
Yeah,
logo and
he was like,
Italians, the long Italian cloth.
he's like
Yeah,
40 years
that
old.
was
Like
a
he's been
fucking
crying
dope
for.
comic. That was such a
Yeah,
dope
that was
comic.
like people don't know about that one.
People
People
don't
know
know
about
about
that
that. That
one.
was such a dope comic.
Spider-Man 2099. That was sick.
Yes, that was
And dude,
fire.
the
The
artwork in
artwork
that
was
one. Yeah,
insane for
yeah,
early
the
'90s
artwork
to
was
be that fucking good.
yeah,
Man,
the
that was fucking
artwork was
good.
great.
Those were good days right
Superman,
there. Yeah.
Superman. I chose because I remember my cousin getting the entire series, the whole entire limited edition series from when Spider-Man, I mean, excuse me, when Superman died, starting
Yeah.
from when he
Oh,
fought
bro,
Doomsday from the beginning to the end.
you know what
He
I
has
meant to
every
tell you?
single comic from that series.
I just got the Death of Superman comic book about 2 years
Yeah,
ago. Not
it's
the
like,
the hardback edition.
mm-hmm,
I got a copy of that with the Superman Doomsday DVD, the movie, the
mm-hmm,
Warner Brothers animated movie with it. So it's like a two in
mm-hmm,
one and like a hardback case with the movie inside and the comic book. It's fucking
mm-hmm.
dope.
Because the series is it's like five different comics, and it's all
Yeah,
about it shows you about like the Man of Steel.
yeah,
It shows you about like all different aspects of Superman, and then of course when he goes against Doomsday and then he dies, and then I forget how he comes back, but
he came back into like
anyway,
the four different Supermans and the
yeah,
reign of
yeah, and then
Superman. It was
that's what I
the
mean.
like
Yeah,
the
he was
Eradicator
broken.
one, the
Mm-hmm.
Superboy, the Steel, and like the Robot one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's right.
that
Yeah.
was a dope series. That was a dope comic book. Really good,
Oh, for sure.
really good.
I got Batman on there only, or not only because
Yeah,
he's
he's the
an
shit
American staple.
because he's the
He's
shit.
if you ever talk in a low voice, they'll think that you're talking in a Batman voice. Like literally in this society and culture, if you talk like this real quick, they're gonna think they say, "Dude, why are you doing that Batman voice?" Is what they're gonna say. Not bet what's why are you doing that Ben Affleck voice? No, they're not. They're gonna say, "Why are you doing the
The
Batman voice?"
Batman voice. Yeah,
But going all the way back to like Michael Keaton, going to
yeah. Adam
Christian Bale,
West
like all of them, Adam West, the
with
original
the
OG,
Bing, pow,
the
boom.
Pal Zap, yeah. But and you know what I never
That's
understood
classic
about this
Batman right
those
there.
classic ones. Why did they always have the room like tilting, like like
When they
like
fought in the
who,
action
like
scenes,
yeah,
they always
like
have the
what?
room shaking
Why?
like when you
Yeah,
get punched and you
why?
fall this way, the camera goes this way.
It's insane. That's so wild. That's
It
fucking with
made
my
no
vision.
sense. But as
No
a
sense.
but as a
A
kid,
scrap.
you were just in awe because there was so much color and excitement. You were just like, "Oh shit, this is
I never
Batman."
doubted it. Not one bit when I was a child. I never
When you watch it
didn't
as
even
an
think about it.
adult, you're like, "What the
This is the
fuck is
greatest
going
thing I've
on
ever seen.
here?"
Is what I was thinking. Yeah, and you're like, because the fights is are what is gonna be. But why are
Yeah.
you? messing with my visual now.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. When you think about it now, you watch it. That's crazy.
It was still
Oh
great,
man.
still great. Adam
Yeah,
West, the
still
car was
classic.
fire.
Still classic.
That car was insane.
I have a model car like that, though. Old Adam West Batmobile.
Um, and then I got X Men and Spawn to
Oh
round up
shit. Yeah, Spawn
my
was
list.
dope. The Spawn
Now, I,
movie wasn't that
mm-hmm,
great, but the concept of it, I could
mm-hmm,
see they were trying to go in the right direction, but because at that time studios didn't believe in comic book movies, so they tried to
mm-hmm,
like change a lot of stuff and they just made it kind of silly and over the top. But
mm-hmm.
Spawn is something that if it got made nowadays, it would fucking kill because they would have the special
Because
effects and they would have the studios would back the director and the actors in the movie to take the movie in this
mm-hmm,
direction.
because with Spawn is to me before I ran into Spawn. FYI, I ran into Spawn on HBO when they had like their late night
The animated
with like Eon
series,
Flux. Yeah, the
yeah,
anime late nights. A lot of people don't know that was
a lot
so
of people don't know.
exclusive,
A lot of
and that
people
was
don't know that that
so
was the first
crazy.
rated R animated series ever produced in
Right, and
America.
people, dude, we used to wait up at night for that.
To watch that,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like seriously, like that was sick. But anyway, um, that's when I realized that the comic book series that made that comic was called Image,
yeah,
or and that was the first time that I was ever reading a comic book that wasn't Marvel or wasn't DC, and it made me curious as to what other kind of comic books were out there.
yeah, yeah. Image had some good comic books. You know,
Hmm.
Image, the creator of Image, what's the guy's name? I think it's Todd McFarlane. He worked
Hmm.
for Marvel and he branched out on his own because he wanted to create his own ideals. And he didn't
Hmm.
like some of the story arcs that he had to write and draw for Marvel Comics. So he branched out on his own and created Image Comics. Spawn was the first
Okay.
character he created that went mainstream.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Spawn was very very cool,
was very
and
cool.
I put Guardians of the Galaxy on there only because like it's a fan favorite, and everyone's like the most selling box office or whatever. But
Yeah,
that's just it's whatever. But
yeah,
it's tight.
yeah. But you definitely can't
All
go
right.
wrong with Spider Man.
No, no, no. That it from whoever's playing Spider Man, they
Yeah,
got that CGI down pat.
yeah.
Like it,
I
it
still.
is.
Oh well, let me ask you this. All right, for you and all the
Hmm.
Spider-Man movies that's been out now, when you think Spider-Man, who's your Spider-Man? For me, Tobey Maguire will always be Spider-Man.
The first one.
The one that came out in the early 2000s.
Yeah, with the glasses scene where he
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
Yeah,
Tobey Maguire is Spider-Man. I
yeah.
like the new ones with
I'll
Tom
accept them.
Holland. I like them. They were
Hmm.
good. The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield was good, but to me, Tobey Maguire is Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's hard to reintroduce a big time character like that, and whatever happened with him offset and getting fired and all that nonsense. But it's hard to. It's like if you did Scarface 2 without Al Pacino, like
Yeah, it
what kind
wouldn't
of
work.
what
It
kind of
wouldn't work.
movie would that be? Yeah, you
Right.
know what I'm saying?
It's like doing a Rocky movie and Brad Pitt is playing Rocky. It wouldn't work because Sylvester Stallone is Rocky.
Right.
Like he played the part too good, too
Yeah.
iconic. And I feel like that's what happened with
Will
Tobey
Ferrell
Maguire.
playing Rocky.
Right. It just wouldn't work. And and that's no knock to Tom Holland because I think he does a great job as Spider Man. But I just don't think he nailed what Tobey Maguire nailed as Spider Man. I don't. I think
Right.
Tobey Maguire really embodied the character of Peter Parker and Spider Man. Now I think the
Hmm.
action sequences and the special effects in the new Spider Man movies, like the Spider Man No Way Home, was
Hmm.
incredible. The just the,
Hmm.
the action, everything. The special effects was incredible. But if you go back and watch the first Spider-Man that came out in 2003, I think it was, with
Mm-hmm.
Tobey Maguire and Willem Dafoe as a Green Goblin, he
Mm-hmm.
embodies what Peter Parker was as a teenage boy,
Mm-hmm.
more so than Tom Holland. I feel, in my opinion.
Well, also, if this is why some people may not maybe they may not understand why I'm about to say what I'm going to say, but it's you really have to read the comic too, because he
Yeah,
also looked like the original comic character.
yeah, he looked
like
more so
like
like Peter
he
Parker.
looked
Yeah,
just like him when he was. That's what made the connection between Tobey Maguire and the Spider-Man, and why
right,
probably
right,
some
and
people look at him the way that they do.
right, and that's why a lot of people just, especially younger people, and there's no knock to younger people, but a lot of people, younger people, like my son, for instance, and my nephew, they both think Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man because they weren't
Hmm.
like comic book fans that read the comic books,
Right.
of Spider-Man comic books. They just remember seeing the first Spider-Man movie, seeing the ones with Andrew Garfield and Jamie Foxx, and then they seen the ones with Tom Holland. They think Tom Holland's the best Spider-Man,
Hmm.
and that's no knock to them. And I don't. Everybody has their own opinion, but for me, I feel like Tobey Maguire embodied what Peter Parker was. It's like
Hmm.
Superman, the old 1978 Superman with Christopher Reeve. I
Hmm.
feel like
Yeah.
Christopher
Yeah. Yeah.
Reeve played a better Clark Kent than Henry Cavill did in the new Man of Steel
Yeah.
Superman.
Yeah.
Although I like the Man
Yeah.
of Steel movie better because of the action, I feel like he looks more the part of a Superman, like his build, his physique, his size. He looks like Superman. Christopher Reeve was just a tall, slim guy, but he
Hmm.
embodied what Clark Kent was, the goofy, clumsy guy dropping, bumping into stuff. He
He definitely
embodied that.
captured that. He
Right. He
captured the
captured that
playing
straight from the,
stupid part.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like Henry
He had
Cavill,
that
not so
down.
much. But I
Hmm.
I love the Man of Steel movie. I do. I like that
Hmm.
movie better than the original Superman movie, but I feel like he embodied what that character was. So that's why
Hmm.
that Superman movie holds a special place for me. Although I do like Man
Yeah.
of Steel better, but I feel like he got the essence of that character better.
And Superman, the original with Christopher Reeves, it had a good run. They had like one,
Yeah,
two,
it's
three. They had
they're
like
not
five
bad.
Supermans or something like that,
Yeah, they're
and that
not
was
bad
like
movies. Now,
'70s through the
the
'80s,
fourth
right?
one, Superman 4 is absolutely ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. But the
Hmm.
first two were really good
Yeah,
movies.
the first two were really
The
good.
first two were solid. The third one was,
Hmm.
excuse me,
When they start getting ridiculous,
it was
yeah,
funny just because Richard Pryor was in it and his scenes he just made the movie funny, but it was more so it was just for me I felt like it was made just to make money. Like it was nobody put any
yeah.
effort into making it. The first two were really strong, good, iconic superhero comic book films. I thought they
Hmm.
were. But the third one I can enjoy because Richard Pryor was in it. He's funny in it, and I can still watch. The fourth one is
Hmm.
completely asinine. I cannot even watch it. I wouldn't even
Is it?
watch it.
I don't even think I've gone that far.
It's
Is it
so bad.
Superman? National Lampoon's Superman goes on vacation or something like that?
Kind of like that. About that ridiculous. He's fighting a guy called Nuclear Man,
Oh
just a made up
man,
guy that the
is
studio
he
made up.
Russian? Was like had little bits of the Cold War in there?
Basically. So
They
this
wanted
is
to.
what's so stupid. So in the
Mhm.
movie, oh my god, so I can't, oh god, it's
Sounds
so fucking
terrible.
bad. In the movie,
Sounds
Superman
bad.
is Superman is indestructible, right?
Correct.
From his head to his toe, right?
You're right.
So in the movie, Superman and Superman 3, Superman takes a piece of his hair out to show people like his capabilities. So he
Hmm.
has a piece of his hair in Superman 3 and Superman 4, his hair is suspended in a museum holding up a ton, like a ton. It's just a metal ball that weighs a ton, and his hair is
Hmm.
holding it just by
Hmm.
a hair. Lex Luthor comes into the museum to steal his hair and cuts the hair with some bolt cutters. Tell me how that makes any kind of fucking sense. Now this hair is strong enough to hold a fucking ton, a metric ton, but it can't withstand some bolt cutters. Now you tell me how that makes any fucking sense.
Well, look. We'll have to do an entire another podcast on writers and directors
And bad films,
and
bad
what they were
films.
thinking behind some of the actions, because sometimes I think they just get paid, they just be writing and they're just like,
Yeah, it makes no
I'm getting
sense.
this
It
money,
makes
so who
no sense.
cares.
Just watching the scene makes no sense. Even if you didn't, if there was no words on the screen and you see this cable suspended holding a ton and someone just snip it with some wire cutters, you're like, what? It just makes no fucking sense.
So what did Lex Luthor do with the hair? Did he like
He
put it on
he
his
takes
head?
the
Like,
hair. No, he takes
he
the
has
hair.
one hair.
He
He's
takes
got
it
one
to
hair on his head.
he takes the hair. He straps it to a rocket, to a nuclear rocket.
Okay.
So, this it's not this
Hold
not
on.
that's not even a
Hold
word.
on, time out. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. You said this man takes a hair, okay, a follicle,
A follicle,
puts
one
it
hair
onto
follicle, straps it to a nuclear
follicle,
missile,
um,
put
and
some
sends that to
DNA,
where now?
put some DNA in there, some of his DNA in there, straps it to a missile. Superman, for whatever odd reason, they gather up every nuclear warhead on the planet. They gather
Mm-hmm.
them all up into a giant net that I don't know who built it, but a net that can hold about I guess 3,000 nuclear warheads. Superman picks the net up. So Lex Luthor puts his little device on one of the warheads. He picks the
Mm-hmm.
net up, flies into space, throws the net to the sun, and then Nuclear Man is born out of that.
So hold
Go
on, hold
figure.
on. So you said that this was part four, right?
It's part four. It's so fucking
I'm pretty sure
bad.
they did they how many Supermans are
It
there?
was four. It was four.
There was
Four
only
was the
four.
last one. Yeah,
Okay, thank
four was the
God, because
last
I was
one.
about to say
It was
I
so
could have sworn
fucking
there was like
bad.
a five or something like that.
It was so bad. It was so bad. Then Nuclear Man is somehow born out of being a nuclear warhead getting thrown into the sun, and everybody's just okay with this. And then he throws the rockets into the sun. They melt. Nuclear Man is born, comes out, and he draws power from the sun, but he's evil and he can hurt Superman for some reason. And then in the movie, Superman fights Nuclear Man and he loses to a scratch.
Oh, he loses the scrap.
He loses. This is how he loses the fight. Nuclear Man scratches him on his neck with his nails. Nuclear Man, for some whatever odd reason, has Catwoman nails that he can just extend at any time, like Wolverine claws. Well, he's got gold fingernails. He extends them, scratches Superman in the neck, and Superman passes out.
Maybe Superman's weaker than we thought. So that's a double. That's double up. So you get nuclear shit and you get kryptonite. Superman's useless.
But there's no kryptonite in him. He's not made from anything kryptonite. No kryptonite. Just nuclear. Just nuclear man.
Damn, Superman.
Bro,
He
this
can go down off
movie
nuclear
is
shit.
so fucking bad. When I tell you bad, it's so bad. It's so bad. You think of any movie right now in your mind that you think is just completely asinine, ridiculous, stupid, silliest, worst movie you ever thought of, and you ever seen it with your own two human eyes. I can tell you right now,
Mm-hmm.
it's not worse than Superman 4. It's not. And I
Mm.
challenge you to watch Superman 4 if you don't believe me. It's that fucking bad.
Hold up. A no laugh challenge on the Superman 4.
You're gonna laugh in the opening scene. The opening scene, you're gonna be on the floor laughing. The opening scene, you're gonna be
Hold
on the
on,
floor
hold
laughing.
on.
The movie is
I'm gonna
so
try
bad.
this. I don't know if it's gonna work, B, but I'm gonna try it. Hold on.
Oh man, the movie is
I'm gonna try
so
to pull up
bad.
this opening scene, yo. Hold on, yo.
Superman 4 is so.
I
Bad.
kind of want to see the launch
And then
with the
here's
hair
another.
follicle.
And then not. Oh God, I, I can't. I can't. Not
Let it
only
loose, babe. Let it loose,
not
homie.
only is the movie bad, the movie gives Superman made up powers that he never has. Now you know Superman. Everyone
Mm-hmm.
knows Superman. His powers are super strong, faster than a speeding bullet, stronger than a locomotive, leap tall buildings in a single bound. He got cool breath where he can freeze stuff with his breath. He got heat vision. He can fly. He's super fast. Got X-ray vision, and he can hear good. Right?
Mm-hmm.
When did he have mind powers? When did this nigga get
Um,
Professor X powers? When?
they
That he
wrote that
can
shit
that he
in the
can
script.
levitate people with his mind. In the movie, he's stopping a train wreck, stops a train wreck. Three people are falling out the sky. He looks at them and levitates them to the ground with his mind. When did Superman get mind power? Not only that's not the worst of it. The worst of it is Nuclear Man is going on a tear. He's just flying around the world, fucking shit
Oh
up.
man, dude, I've never seen this movie. Yo, Nuclear Man looks whack as fuck. Hold on. Oh well, hold
He
on.
looks super weak.
Hold
He's got
on,
like
B. He
a
looks.
gay Chippendale porn star outfit on.
Oh my god, dude. Hold on, B. How are they gonna ruin Superman's name like this, B?
Bro, but that's not the worst. The worst thing in the film is Nuclear Man's going on a tear. He's flying around the world. Superman's chasing him. Now, you know, Superman, if he sees something going sideways, he got to save people. So Nuclear Man's just fucking shit up. So he had to save it. He goes into a volcano, flies in, boom, makes the volcano erupt. Superman got to stop the volcano from spilling all over and burning everybody up. He flies into Russia and fucks some shit up. This nigga flies over and Nuclear Man blows up the Great Wall of China.
Mm-hmm.
Superman flies behind him, and this is gonna blow your fucking mind. He puts the Great Wall of China back together with his eyes. Not, 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 not
Not
one
with
or
his
two,
hands.
not one or two bricks fell, and he like came through with his heat vision and welded it back together. No, he looks at the bricks, puts his heat vision on them, lifts them up, and stacks them back up like fucking Legos and pieces it back together.
It just starts floating around.
fucking The movie is
Puts
fucking
itself together.
terrible. When I say terrible, I mean terrible.
Damn,
Oh my
Superman.
god,
Oh,
the
hold
movie
on.
is
Let me
so bad.
let's see if I can share this real quick. It's it's Nuclear Man. These niggas fighting on the moon and shit.
Oh, that's why'd you have to bring up the moon? That's how he beats
All right,
Nuclear Man. So Nuclear Man, because he
right
threw
here.
him into the sun, he draws his power from the sun. Superman,
All right, can you see this?
yeah, he moves the moon in front of the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And that didn't fuck up the fucking galaxy
Why
orbit.
does Nuclear
He
Man look so weak though?
This is the worst
This
case of
man,
sissy fight you've ever seen in your life.
come on, man. I don't. Yo,
A
Nuclear
rock,
Man is
a rock,
whack, yo.
and Superman scared of a rock. You're fucking in. Uh, this movie is so bad.
Oh,
See his
there goes the
nails?
electric.
Then
Yeah.
see his nails?
Why didn't Superman just use his mind to like blow his brain up or something? Oh, nice. God, that is so weak.
This movie is so bad, dude.
I don't. Tell me when you want to stop.
This movie is so bad. Did you see that blast?
You know what? It's like occurring to me like, is this the first time they found out that you can suspend somebody in air in like right there, like you can suspend somebody in the air and with ropes and shit, cables that they
Yeah.
can't see. No, he doubled up. He zapped his ass too.
Bro, this movie is so bad.
How much is this left, dude? I don't even know how much longer. I can do another 2 minutes of this, yo.
It's terrible,
Oh,
bro.
Superman's back. Dude, he's back. Oh, he's back. What was the point of charging back if you just go catch a
To
headache?
headbutt
Like,
him
hey, yo,
and get
hold
a
on, hold
headache.
on.
Why is Superman getting a headache?
Yeah. Oh my god. Hey, yo, he's
This
literally
nigga is
pummeling this
hammering
dude
him.
into the ground.
He's hammering him into the moon. Please help me. Help me. He hammered him into the fucking moon.
And he dipped
How?
out on his bitch ass.
How,
He dipped
Sway?
out on him.
How?
Oh my goodness. Oh, now you want to get out the dirt. You don't even know
Oh
where
my
this dude
god.
at. Oh, hold on. Gotta make sure it's for the U.S. first. Get
That
that
nigga put
straight.
on. He rep his flag hard, nigga. Nigga flagging out there in space.
Oh, hold on. He's moving the moon. He had to. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
This nigga
I'm
moves the
getting.
moon in front of the sun.
Yo, hold on, yo. This dude just got pummeled into the moon, but just moved the entire moon.
Entire moon. The entire moon. Now you mean
She
to tell
has
me?
no. She has no space jacket on right now, so
So
she's
how's she
dead for
breathing
sure.
out
Like
there?
she,
How is she breathing
she had
out
to.
there? Now this
He
nigga just
forgot
go.
that. Where was this nigga even floating to? Was he gonna go back to his nuclear
I don't
world and
know.
shit?
I don't know what he was doing. But here's the thing. He lost his power, right? But how's he just floating
Hmm.
in space? Wouldn't he collapse and
Uh,
fall if he can't fly?
once, once the moon gets out of the way of the sun again, he will wake back up.
Unless he's just gonna leave the moon in front of the sun. This
Oh, come
this
here.
movie is
Let's
so
be
bad,
friends.
bro. And then he
Oh, let's
throws
take
him
him back.
into a nuclear reactor. No, that's not
Okay.
dangerous at all.
Oh, swish.
And the
Nothing
lid
but net.
shut.
Dude, yes, that was whack.
Bruh. If you
That
watch that movie
was
from
whack.
start to finish, I guarantee you will feel like killing yourself. It's so
I
bad.
I felt like killing myself just now, dude.
It's so bad, bro. It's so bad. We could spend a whole podcast talking about how horrible this movie is.
We can do a whole podcast just on that scene.
Just on
Just
that
I don't
scene.
even if that's the
But you didn't even
climax
see
of
the
the
worst
entire
of
movie.
it. That's the
If that's the
climax of
clim,
the movie.
yeah.
But
If
you
that's the
didn't see the
climax of the
first
movie, I
time
don't
they
want to see
squared
none of
up.
the
The first
bullshit of
time
the
they
movie.
squared up, this nigga
Mm-mm.
scratched Superman in the neck, and this nigga went into a coma and laid on his couch for like half the movie with a neck
Damn.
scratch, coughing, with breaking out in sweats from a neck
Didn't
scratch.
he? Yo, didn't he just get pummeled into the moon, yo? I'm talking
He
about
did,
like against his will. Like he didn't dig
and
his own grave. He got
then
punched
and then
into
moved
there
the entire moon in front of the sun.
just so he can make a
Ah,
swish with yo homie.
bro, it's bad. It's really
So
bad.
man, are we you want to wrap this up and then we can do another part two?
Yeah, we'll pick up part two, and we'll pick up part two next week.
All right, that definitely what's we'll do.
Don't forget on the part two we're gonna add in the top five war movies of all time.
Okay, top five war movies. Write that down.
Yeah, I just wrote it down, I jotted it down, so we're gonna add that in.
Okay, I'm definitely a war movie buff guy, so I can do
Yeah,
that for
I
sure.
love a good war movie.
Um, shout out. I just wanted to shout out Debo. She's still going through some difficult times. So I just wanted to, she's
Yeah,
part of our team, and
big ups
we
to her.
want to wish her well. Make sure she catches a speedy recovery and joins the show again. But for
Yeah,
now, wish her well.
yeah.
But
Because
we're
I'm
gonna be
sure she
holding
would
the
have some
torch.
things to say about that Superman 4.
Oh, I'm sure she'll watch it, and she'll have her own opinion. She'll probably be in part two and be able to rock her part of the story.
Yeah.
But until that, guys, this is D Rock right here
Hydro
signing
signing
out.
out. Peace.
And we will see you guys next week. Catch you guys later.